We got a Civic in the shop that's severely overheated, and although we've already done some repairs, we need to do a coolant leak test to see if there's anything else we need to do. So let's get to it. I'm going to go ahead and test the system for a coolant leak, so we'll pressure test it and see if we have any coolant leaking anywhere. Now this vehicle sat overnight, so it's nice and cool, so we don't have to worry about burning ourselves. I left the spark plugs out because I want to see if we have any coolant leaking down into those cylinders. This is the test kit I'll be using from Astro, part number 78585. That's what the kit looks like. And of course, we're going to need this. And for this old Honda, we should be using this cap right here. We'll take our radiator cap off. Remember, this system is cool. And we'll go ahead and replace it with this one. Now when we pressurize the system, we want to keep it around what the system is operating at, which in this case, our radiator cap, this is an aftermarket one, it says 0.9, and that's 0.9 bar. And so to convert that to PSI, that's roughly, give or take, about 13 PSI. So we don't want to go too much more over that. And if we look at our pressure gauge, it kind of tells us the green area, which is less than about 14.5 PSI. We'll connect our pump, and we'll just pump it up to about 13 PSI or 0.9. Alright, right there. And we'll leave it. I'll let it sit for a while and we'll see what it does. It's been about 15 minutes. Let's see where we're at. And it looks like it's dropped a little bit. So we probably have a small leak somewhere. Now this vehicle severely overheated due to a crack in the radiator. So the coolant started to leak out. Vehicle started to overheat. And then it got hot enough where it blew the seal out of the water pump. And then all the coolant went out. And then unfortunately the owner kept driving it past that, and it basically melted our timing belt covers into the timing belt and everything in there. So it was definitely a big gooey nasty mess. I could not really do any testing until I got the vehicle running. I was afraid that belt was gonna snap any second because it was rubbing and I could see it was already chewed up. So in order to get to this point, I replaced the radiator, upper and lower hoses. Of course, we've got the whole timing belt package with all new belts and a water pump. So it's squared away now, and that's how we can go ahead and test. When we did our compression check, this was the lowest cylinder, and that's not a surprise because it seemed like this was definitely the epicenter as far as the heat. So I was not surprised at all that this was our lowest testing compression cylinder. And so because the leak seems to be really small, I don't see any external leaks, I don't smell any coolant, we're going to stick a scope down there and look and see if we can see coolant dripping in our cylinder. To look down into our cylinders, we're going to use this endoscope by Depstech. What's nice about this one is it had two cameras, one out the front like normal, but it also has one that looks at a 90 degree. And that's good for looking down cylinders, and we can see to the side, especially looking at head gasket areas. Alright, we got it fired up. Hopefully you can see that. We'll just put it down in our cylinder here. The light is on, so we can see down there, and there's our piston. Try to maneuver it around. See what we can see. We'll switch it to the side camera. Kind of peek around, see what we see. Alright, hopefully you can see that. I'm looking at the side, right down there by the piston, I see a little bit of coolant there. And is there any more? Definitely can see some coolant right there. So we'll go up, bring it up, and yeah, look at that trail of coolant right there. And if we look close, it might be hard to tell, right about right there, you can see a bubble of coolant right there. So yeah, as I suspected, we definitely blew the head gasket. Not by a lot, but it's enough to it'll be using and burning coolant, so we're going to have to get this fixed. We're going to need a new head gasket. I'll see if I find any more. Oh, there's a big drip right down. There's your problem. Yeah, just like that. We caught it right in the act. And that one's hard to see because our valve is a little bit in the way. But that was a good shot of that big drip. I hope you guys saw it. There's a big drip, went all the way down. So yeah, we need a new head gasket, which is what I knew, but this confirms it. I went ahead and checked the other cylinders, didn't find anything. Our number 1 cylinder is definitely our problem. Alright, it's been about 45 minutes. Let's check and see where we're at. Looking at our gauge, it looks like we're right at about 12 psi. So it looks like we dropped about 1 psi in about 45 minutes. Looking around, I don't see any other leaks. There are no other visible leaks. So I'm pretty confident our only leak is the head gasket, and I think we're only leaking right around or near the number 1. So now you know what I know. The fix for this would be a new head gasket. So I can't say I'm surprised. You overheat a Honda, you're probably going to blow the head gasket. And as hot as this thing got, I'm amazed it didn't melt these spark plug wires. Alright, we're all put back together. Everything is plugged back in. Well, that's it for this one, and as I suspected, it needs a new head gasket. And as always, if the video helped you out, you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.